You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
I'm now joined by Ursula Sinnott, the newly appointed General Manager of the Farmer's Kitchen in Drina. You might start by telling me a bit about your own background, please, Ursula.
I'm originally from Wexford. I'm a Murntown woman. I started my hotel career originally with Paddy Fitzpatrick, who was the infamous manager of the Talbot Hotel at one stage, and then went on to found the Fitzpatrick Hotel Group. And for a number of years I worked with them in their 3 hotels in Killiney, Shannon and Cork, with John and Paul Fitzpatrick and Etna Fitzpatrick. And then I went and worked for University College Cork when they were setting up the on-campus accommodation, which was a new idea at that time. And from there I came to the Talbot Hotel, and I worked there as general manager for a number of years. And then I left the hotel business and set up my own business. And during that period I worked for Wexford Festival Opera, and now I'm back in the hotel business, delighted to be so, and here at the Farmer's Kitchen, and I think it's a very exciting opportunity. People
often wonder who's behind the Farmer's Kitchen today.
Billy Devericks is a farmer, local farmer, who bought the Farmer's Kitchen recently. That's in the public domain. He's actually lives next door to the Farmer's Kitchen, and his family would be very well known, the Devericks family, like in J.J. Devericks Office Supplies, his father and his brothers. And his mother and his father years ago had a very successful bed and breakfast and restaurant in Broome Cottage, which many people in Wexford will remember. They'll certainly remember Teesy's cooking anyway. She was a great cook. And Teesy comes into the hotel, quite a lot every day, and she's a great source of inspiration.
Lots of people would say as well that, Wexford hotel market is fairly crowded. You have lots and lots of hotels there, and some of which are being run by NAMA. Does that cause you any concern?
Well, location, that's all I would say. And none of those are located directly opposite the emerging industrial district of Wexford. Farmer's Kitchen has a special place in the hearts of many Wexford people. Like, they would have very fond memories of times that they spent in the Farmer's Kitchen years ago when it was the thriving Farmer's Kitchen, which we hope to get it back to. I don't think that's an issue really for us.
Tell me a bit about the history behind the Farmer's Kitchen.
I personally didn't ever spend very much time in the Farmer's Kitchen, but anecdotally I'm hearing story from people who have come back. Like, they have, first of all, we actually reverted back to the name to call the hotel the Farmer's Kitchen, and like that has received a great response. People are really delighted that we've done that. Also, people are saying they're delighted it's open again. Like, so Irene Scallon's bar, which is a lovely little pub on the at the side of the hotel. Irene Scallon was the original owner of the pub when it's a pub and a small restaurant, and before it has become what it is today. It goes back a very long time. The Farmer's Kitchen in the past probably was quite a magical place in the sense that it was very well known for great food. Many people met there. It was a great social centre for rural and the town community because it's so close to both. In the past it had the squash club, which was at the time when squash was in its heyday, and like that seemed to be a very big driving force socially for people to meet, and also then to come back to the Farmer's Kitchen afterwards and then next door and have a little jar or whatever. And those were in the days before we had the drink driving rules that we have now, so it was probably very, very sociable.
So your objective really is to bring it back to its roots, to bring the hotel back to its foundation stone, which was so familiar to so many Wexford people today, looking back 20 years ago, as it being such a great social setting with great food.
Our source are as much food as possible locally. For instance, all our desserts are all homemade. Like, everything is cooked from scratch in the kitchen, fresh and local.
You're in the hotel now 2 months at this stage. What have you spent that time doing?
Renovating and recruiting staff, mainly. Like, it's been pretty busy, long days, but great, exciting. We've introduced a carvery into the hotel, which has received great response because it enables people to come in for lunch and they can spend as long as they like, but if they want a quick lunch, they can get a lunch in 20 minutes.
I suppose, Ursula, like any other hotel, you have probably 4 main income streams. You have your function room, your accommodation, your food and your drink. Now, you mentioned earlier in the interview that the hotel itself is located right across the road from the IDA park, and there's definitely, I suppose, up to 2,000 people working within a 1 mile radius of it. What impact do you think that's going to have on your food trade?
Well, I think that's actually going to be a very big factor in our food trade. The carvery is a response to quick lunches and getting in and out quickly and providing a substantial meal in that small time frame. And also being able to do big numbers. But also on the accommodation front already, and we're only open a week really, we've got some walk-in business as the term is used in the hospitality business from various people who are providing services in one shape or another to the companies that are across the road or within easy reach of the hotel. I think that a rising tide raises all boats, the more successful the businesses are across the road, I think the more successful we will be. In the next few weeks we hope to meet all the various people who work in the businesses, either in the hotel, and we'll be calling to their businesses. In the last few weeks we've been concentrating on actually getting the hotel fit for purpose and getting to the normal teething problems that any new operation has where you have completely new team, new equipment. There's completely new equipment in the entire kitchen. So obviously, we had to make sure all that was working, and we've had the odd teething problem here and there. Like last Saturday, we had a really, really busy day, but we had no water for some reason. Outside of our control, I might add. But so that had created some problems for us. But we went through that and everything was fine. But you just need to iron out the kinks in a business when you open it up first, I think. And we're going through that process now. And I think in the next few weeks now we'll be concentrating on the sales and marketing and promotional and PR side of the business.
Ursula, I'd like now to turn to accommodation. It's been 10 years since you've been involved in the hotel trade. Probably one of the most fundamental changes that have taken place in the trade over the last 10 years is the fact that consumers are now booking hotel rooms online as opposed to through under any other medium. How are you going to adapt to that yourself?
That is very true. It is so true. It has drastically changed since, or not drastically, I think it's changed for the better in the last 10 years, that online bookings are really driving the whole room business entirely, I would say. The way we will adapt to that is that obviously we're a very small organisation, so you don't have somebody specific who does that. So we have an organisation called Net Assist who actually manage the website and search engine optimisation and manage all the various different channels like bookings.com, Expedia and so on and so forth, and they sort of make sure there's parity of rates with all those various different organisations, and we liaise with them and pay them a fee to do that. Now that's something I have to confess, we've spent all our time on renovations and recruitment, so we're actually only at the stage of doing the website and all that side of it now at this point. So that's how we will be dealing with that.
And how do you see the accommodation side of the business develop over the coming months and years?
I think it's very important to have a good mix of business, and it'll be critical for us, I think, and I can see it already in the way it's developing. It's important to have an element of the commercial stroke corporate business, and as well as that then the passing trade business, and we do get a lot of business thankfully from people who are travelling to and from the boat. We get a certain amount of weekend business for people who just want to come to a small hotel rather than a bigger hotel. Like I had, there was 3 people checked in last night into the hotel. They were probably in their early 70s, a couple and a single woman on her own. And the single woman, in her 70s, she was travelling with this couple, and she said, "Oh, I'll come back here now because I know you. I feel like I know you. I know the people here." Like, so, as she said, normally she wouldn't stay. She'd never think about staying in a hotel on her own. So small hotels can offer that, I suppose, because we have 21 bedrooms, so you get to know all of your customers.
I suppose one of the barriers and one of the challenges to overcome with your own hotel is the fact that you don't have leisure facilities. Do you think that that's going to cause much of a problem for you?
It's true that it can be a buying decision, even though, like they say, that it is a buying decision. About 90% of the people actually who do make that decision because they have a leisure centre don't use the leisure centre when they're in the hotel. I don't think that'll be as big a factor for us as well, really, because we're I think we'll end up becoming a small boutique hotel, really, in that we'll concentrate on providing really good home-cooked food, personal service, friendly service, get to know our customers, remember our customers and appreciate our customers, and hopefully have staff that'll enjoy working in the place, because a happy staff like that comes across. That's important as well for everybody's experience, the customer and the staff.
Well, Ursula, it's been a very informative interview. I'd like to thank you for coming in this morning and speaking to our listeners, and I wish you every success with building the Farmer's Kitchen.
You're listening to South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.